The ministry that was happening in Lebanon County before we got there was a hit or miss type ministry. And the chaplain was kind of on call. And so to have a full part-time and then a full-time presence there made a big difference in the Lebanon County. So our goal was to send holy, righteous men who were going to share the gospel in their life and in their speak. I volunteered in prison, and then we hired a full-time chaplain, Ken Stoltzfus, and then I kind of backed off as a volunteer and did some other outside jobs. I was put on the board about that time also, so I was on the board. And then I was asked to become a part-time director, and so that was my transition from volunteer to being a board member to part-time director. Many of these people that we're ministering to are forgotten in today's society, and yet God values them as people. And so we were trying to show to them that they have value. We can do that through Jesus. I actually had a lot of compassion for these folks right from the beginning. Even though I came from a very cloistered type background, I think the biggest eye-opener was the first day I went into prison and had the prison doors clang behind me. That was a big kind of eye-opener thing. As far as the men, they were men. They were people like myself. And I didn't have a whole lot of problem dealing with them and looking up to them. By keeping everything kind of close and also being able to work with the stores, the people in the program working with the stores, and we are able to work shoulder to shoulder with these guys. We can show them Jesus Christ in our lives and also show them a way to live a life that's responsible. And one thing I thought about just the other day, the symbol that we use, the horn, that was originally designed, I think, by the youth group. I'm not sure exactly who designed it, but it was way back then. And that is the simple message, the year of Jubilee, when the captives are set free. And that core has stayed with Jubilee all those years. We sat down as a board and staff when we were kind of looking at some kind of 5-year plan and what we were going to do, and we kind of had this all set up in our mind, and that was supposed to start January 1st. By February 2nd, we kind of all threw our hands up and said, this isn't happening. God has his own thing. And in fact, my one administrative assistant said to me, he says, hang on, we're going for a ride. And that's pretty much where it's at, has been with Jubilee. And so when you ask me about 10 years, God knows. Yeah, some people thought I was crazy, not just me, because there were other people excited about the building too. But I learned that there's two type of people. One that can envision a building finished when it's not finished, and other people can't get it in their heads. And so we had those two type of people. They just felt that we were taking too big of a bite, because it was a big bite. But the rest of us felt that it was a God thing. You know, there's things that just happened along the way as we were trying to purchase the building and stuff, and it just happened. And it didn't just happen, God was directing it. So we just kept moving ahead. A big thing to me as I look at that vision is being sure that God's in it. Because if God's in it, it will move forward. First of all, I really like Jubilee. That's pretty obvious. Second, God gave me a gift of not needing to be in the front. And so it was easy for me to step down and just take a secondary role. And so that way I could still be involved and help the ministry. I'm a person that when I feel that God is saying, go for it, I go for it. And so it wasn't too downing a process at that point. It was, we're doing it. because God's here. And that's my memory of it.